This is really insane, everyone. This fight just got deadly, even if we thought we had seen it all in love and hip-hop. Mendeecees and Kirk Frost are no longer merely making fun of each other. Someone might not survive this ordeal. Wait, was Kirk the one who set up Mendeecees? Was this a mafia-level ambush that was captured on film? And hold on, why is Mendeecees showing up for blood and suddenly LAWYEREDUP? The blogs are booming, the streets are talking, and let's just say that nobody is safe. Bro. We received supposed CCTV footage, leaked information, and some horrible receipts that will cause you to reconsider everything regarding Kirk Frost. Who will be exposed soon? Behind the scenes, who is executing desperate power moves? And, above all, who is going to lose everything? This storyline twist is more outrageous than a cliffhanger in a season finale, so grab some popcorn. Let's dissect the chaos, the drama, and the danger that surround this hip-hop and love war. Two names who have been making waves in the love and hip-hop community for all the wrong reasons are Kirk Frost and Mendeecees. But believe me, you weren't prepared for what was about to happen. The tea is piping hot and the streets are chatting. You believed it to be merely a trivial reality TV show. This has turned into something more darker. Oh no, we are discussing backstabbing, confidential meetings, and covert actions that have the potential to completely alter the course of events. Let's take a moment to go back in time. Do any of you know Mendeecees? The individual has been involved in a number of scandals. Mendeecees has always been in difficulty, from his court cases to the tragic relationship he had with Yandy Smith. But what if I told you that this time, he wasn't merely resolving a dispute at a reunion special or a courtroom? No, this was the real thing. It was either this or death. What about the opposite side? Kirk Frost is a man whose reputation has been established as a father, businessman, and all-around cool guy. However, behind the scenes, whispers have always existed. Kirk has never been as spotless as he would like you to think, from controversies involving cheating to dubious transactions. And now, those skeletons in his closet appear to be ready to fall out. Because Kirk and Mendeecees have reportedly been at conflict for months, according to sources. Oh, and believe me, these sources don't play. What began as a straightforward miscommunication has escalated into a full-fledged conflict, and you won't believe how far it has gone. It initially appeared to be standard industry beef, a financial dispute, an unsuccessful commercial transaction. Some people said and she said absurd things. Then, however, things changed. Meetings began to take place in private. Individuals began to lead the conversation. Then came the most shocking revelation of all. Rumors of a secret attack, an assault, a well-thought-out, well-coordinated, and lethal move with the sole intent of taking Mendeecees out. Now, I understand what you're thinking. Kirk would never do that. He isn't that kind of person. However, let me remind you of something. What happens when egos are hurt, reputations are at risk, and money is at stake? You can do anything. What's the most absurd aspect? Mendeecees anticipated it. He had gut feeling that Kirk was secretly planning something, and rather than waiting for it to occur, lipping the script was his choice. Do any of you recall the unique CCTV footage that was made public last week? The one that made people talk? As it happens, that wasn't a haphazard altercation. Not at all. Kirk's people had been pursuing Mendeecees for weeks, looking for the ideal opportunity to attack, and that was pure OF. What about that evening? That night was meant to be the night. What, though, did they not anticipate? Mendeecees had been prepared. Let's dissect this now. Imagine that Mendeecees is out and about, going about his business as if it were any ordinary night. However, something doesn't feel right. Perhaps it's because he always sees the same car wherever he goes. Perhaps it's because everyone in the throng seems a bit too familiar. In any case, his instincts take over. And right before he gets into his vehicle, boom, it occurs. Suddenly, he is rushed by masked men. There is anarchy. It's insane. People are yelling. And right when it appears like Mendeecees might not survive, his security detail intervenes. There is a fight. They fling punches. A weapon is drawn by someone. And before you know it, the entire incident is captured on video. The situation now becomes even more bizarre, because when did the video go viral? People began making connections right away. Why? For what reason did those masked men attack Mendeecees? They weren't just a bunch of jerks. Not at all. Word on the street is that they were tied to someone big, a wealthy individual, someone with the ability to make things disappear by pulling strings behind the scenes. And you know whose name kept popping up during those discussions? Kirk Frost. I don't know about the rest of you, but this doesn't seem like a coincidence to me. Mendeecees seemed to feel the same way, as evidenced by the fact that the next day, he submitted a case. Yes, exactly. Mendeecees took all he had and headed straight to the police. And believe me when I say that he didn't hold back. He supplied everything, including the names, the video, and even a list of potential witnesses against Kirk, according to persons familiar with the matter. The real fireworks began at that point. What if Kirk had assumed that this would simply vanish? Oh, he was completely mistaken. Mendeecees wasn't merely attempting to deal with things in private. Not at all. This was being made public by him. You obviously know how this industry operates, so that meant one thing: Kirk was officially in the hot seat. The floodgates open when one controversy occurs. And believe me when I say that this was only the beginning. For what reason did individuals begin researching Kirk? Let's just say that it makes the whole thing appear even more dismal. You were not prepared for what transpired next if you believed that Mendeecees filing that case marked the end of it. Because believe me, Kirk Frost's predicament just got worse. You know when Mendeecees made this public? All Kirk could do was re-espionage it. The problem is that sometimes opening your mouth is the worst thing you can do when you're under this much pressure. And Kirk did precisely that. Kirk did something that nobody expected, rather than remaining silent, letting his lawyers handle it, or even making a simple statement like, "I have no involvement in this." He appeared on Live. Indeed, Instagram Live. This man decided it would be a good idea to take to social media in the midst of a full-blown legal problem in order to try to clear his name in front of thousands of people. And you know what I mean when I say that this was a train wreck? First of all, Kirk appeared stressed. I mean, it was a full-blown disaster. Kind of anxious out, like I haven't slept in 3 days and my lawyer just told me I might be in real trouble. And when did he begin speaking? He was obviously scurrying. Kirk began, "I'm not sure where this is coming from. Dude, I have nothing to do with any of this. They are attempting to portray myself as someone I am not." The issue is that Kirk never truly refuted the accusations. Now, explain to me why you wouldn't immediately respond, "That's a lie." If someone accused you of planning an attack on another man, that has absolutely nothing to do with me. Rather, Kirk was merely circling around the issue, accusing the blogs, the haters, and the ones who were twisting the truth. In the meantime, in the remarks, people weren't buying it. "Kirk, why do you sound anxious?" Someone wrote. "Just claim you didn't do it, bro. Why the extra chatter?" Another viewer added a remark. "And when you believed that things couldn't get much worse." Rashida interrupted. Yes, Rashida, Kirk's own wife, was in the comments, and let's just say that she wasn't supporting her husband in this situation. Because rather than standing up for Kirk, everyone was shocked by the comment she made. "I warned you that this would catch up with you." Pardon me? What? When people saw that, what did it mean? Oh, it was over. Instagram was in ruins, Twitter went nuts, and websites began analyzing everything. For heaven's sake, what if your own wife is out here implying that you've been involved in some dodgy activities? My die, that's not a nice look. This is where it becomes even more crazy, though. Mendeecees wasn't finished yet. You see, Mendeecees was very busy while Kirk was out here embarrassing himself on Instagram Live. Instead of waiting for events to unfold, he was actively involved in the process. What comes next? It was a big one, indeed. Because Kirk's awful live session was less than 48 hours ago. Boom! Another shocking revelation, a brand new video emerged. Let me now set the scenario for everyone. This was not a random surveillance clip from across the street, nor was it grainy. No, this video was crystal clear and of excellent quality. And you know what? It depicted Kirk meeting in secret with one of the attack's masked guys. All of you. Do you mean that Kirk was spotted seated at a table, engaging in a heated discussion with the same man who was later captured on camera, attempting to eject Mendeecees, just days prior to the ambush on Mendeecees? Make sense of it. The internet entered full detective mode, with individuals analyzing the video frame by frame and generating theories galore. In the end, there was no coincidence here. See that individual Kirk was speaking to, according to sources. Oh, and these sources obtained RECIPTs. He's had some serious business dealings in the past. Furthermore, we're not discussing the drama of love and hip-hop. No, we're discussing actual, clandestine, off-the-record business. And just days before Mendeecees was attacked, Kirk sat down with him. It doesn't look good. The pressure was starting to get heavy now. Kirk's command of the story was slipping. Then, just when he believed that things couldn't get any worse, boom, the cops were called. Yes, exactly. An investigation was formally launched by the authorities. What happens after the police dig? Well, that's it. The legal team for Mendeecees came forward and claimed to have additional material that they had not previously made public. And you are all aware of what that implies. The real tea is being held upon. Kirk, in the meantime, he was scrambling, I saw. Because the internet wasn't the only source of information anymore. The Fedias were now observing. And believe me, when you're receiving that type of attention, hopefully your hands are clean. The problem is that Kirk's hands aren't clean. Do you want to know why? Because the more thoroughly this inquiry was conducted, the dirt began to rise much more. For what reason did people begin learning about Kirk's past? Let's just say that things may be worse than we initially believed. So, did you find this to be messy? You hadn't yet seen anything. Now pay attention when the federal agents begin to sniff around. You will know it's real at that point. Because Kirk still had a little leeway until this point. He may have dismissed this as a major miscommunication. Oh, I didn't know that guy, or it was just a business meeting, were two possible responses. However, after the cops intervened, the door shut with a slam. Because when law enforcement begins an investigation, you know what happens. What did they discover on Kirk, Beatty? They don't stop at just one crime. Let's just say that he has a history of dirty play. See, his financial documents were pulled. Everything began to unravel at that point. Since I've been struggling for years, begging to keep his businesses afloat and crying over the amount of money he's losing, how does a man suddenly have millions coming in and going out of his accounts? Yes, someone needs to explain that. Since investigators first examined his financial records, and guess what? They discovered that Kirk had been sitting on an entire secret bankroll. The figures did not add up. We're discussing sporadic wire transactions, millions in consulting fees, and offshore accounts that are opening up everywhere. And do you recall the attack's enigmatic masked man? Yes, as it happens, Kirk had already paid him. Now, wait on, what right does Kirk have to pay a man who has been connected to criminal activity? Exactly. The Fedias really started to work at that point. Because this isn't just another reality TV story, you know. Now, this is a FEL criminal investigation. What charges are they investigating? They're not light, I see. Conspiracy to commit assault wire fraud is what we are discussing. Money laundering links to organized crime. Well, yes, Kirk is finished. What's the worst? The reason Mendeecees knew all along is, guess what? He had a plan. Mendeecees had been preserving receipts for years, you know. He was aware that Kirk had been unclean. This man was acting shallowly, and he knew it. And when Kirk crossed the boundary, boom! Throughout this entire takedown, Mendeecees pulled the trigger. And it isn't even the most absurd aspect of it. You know, when it was announced that Kirk was under investigation, people began to speak because, darling, individuals in the industry know your personal details. And when Kirk appeared frail, all of his alleged friends abandoned him at that point. Unnamed sources began to surface. More phone calls and texts that were leaked came to light. Rashida ceased to defend him as well. Yes, his own wife, because you recall her making that dubious remark on his Instagram Live. Yes, that was only the start. Because after the police intervened, she moved quickly away. Rashida played the role of the ride-or-die wife 1 minute. The minute after that, she was out here telling the media, I didn't know anything. You all know what that means. She's preparing to defend herself because, believe it or not, she won't go down with him. And let's face it, what if your own wife no longer has faith in you? It's a wrap. And just when Kirk believed there was no way things could be worse, it did because, you know, the feds do more than simply look into things, they arrest people. To put it simply, Kirk's time was up. Because at exactly 6:45 a.m. on a typical Tuesday morning, they broke down his doors and raided his home, produced search warrants, captured every hard disk, document, and laptop. And before Kirk's slippers were even on, he was in handcuffs. Yes, they got him. Do you all remember when the mugshot was posted online? The memes became insane. Not Kirk out here being caught while acting like a mafia boss. Rashida is going to act as though she doesn't even know him. While Kirk was playing checkers, the Mendeecees actually played chess. Let's face it, they weren't incorrect. Due to Mendeecees, I see now that he left this clean. Not only did he win, but he ruined Kirk's entire career. And Kirk, he isn't recovering from this, darling. Because you are aware of the harm the industry inflicts on those who become embroiled in such scandals. They eliminate them. No more deals for reality TV. No more recommendations. Nothing more. What's the greatest irony? Because Mendeecees is out here winning and Kirk is imprisoned in a chilly jail cell. The man who attempted to take Mendeecees out ended up taking himself out. I don't know what the greatest plot twist ever is if that isn't it. What are your thoughts, then? Was this something Kirk did to himself? Was all of this part of Mendeecees' grand scheme? Above all, what is Rashida going to do next? Because let's face it, she will not remain for this disaster. If you would like more exclusive tea like this, please leave a comment, click the like button, and subscribe. Oh, and believe me, the drama is far from over. Because what did we just discover, baby? This is just the start. Ahead of you, everyone, is one of the most outrageous confrontations in the history of hip-hop and love. Kirk Frost believed he was invincible, believed he was capable of winning the game. He believed he could defraud Mendeecees quickly and maintain his small empire. Look at him now, though, as he faces federal charges, a career in flames, credibility destroyed. Mendeecees too? Oh, he's enjoying his drink while watching Kirk's demise as if it were the most amazing season finale he's ever seen. The true query, though, is, did Kirk deserve this? Was he finally being caught by this karma? Did Mendeecees go too far, or what? Not to be overlooked is Rashida. Will she make a ride-or-die decision and attempt to save Kirk? Or is she going to pack up and leave him behind? We need ANSWERs, EVRE1. Please share your ideas in the comments section immediately. I would like to hear which side you support. Oh, and don't assume that this drama is finished. Because this story is far from over, I assure you. Thus, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and say it UPNOTIFICATIONS. Because, darling, what's the next big revelation? Stay locked in because it will shake the industry much further.